I'm Handy the dietitian, and welcome to Healthy Made Simple, where I show you how to make healthy eating simple. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a quick salad that I'm going to be packing for lunch. Now I'm getting ready for work. I'm going to head out in the next half hour or so I have a little bit of time to put together a lunch for myself that's going to be a healthy option. So I thought, why not use the ingredients I already have in my fridge to put together a quick salad and share that with you too. So if you're interested, stay tuned to see how I'm going to put together this quick to-go salad for lunch today. Alrighty, let's go. Alrighty, so for the ingredients, I'm going to be using this iceberg lettuce, and this is shredded iceberg lettuce. I had used this for some rice bowls earlier in the week, so I'm just going to finish up this bag. I'm going to do a cucumber. I got some Persian cucumbers from Trader Joe's. I'm going to do maybe one or two of these tomatoes. They're pretty small that I have left over as well. And I'm also going to use up my chickpeas. You can see them down at the bottom here. There's just a few left, so I'm going to use this entire container. Now, these are just chickpeas that are coated in olive oil, lemon juice, salt, and pepper. I love using that as an addition to like a rice bowl type of thing, or on top of salads as well. I had used these for a rice bowl earlier this week as well too, so I'm just going to finish up this container. And then for my protein, yesterday we had gone to Dave's Hot Chicken to grab some lunch while we were really busy for the day. And I have a leftover chicken tender from that. I have this leftover chicken tender, so I'm just going to cut this up and add that as my protein to my meal. I do have some French fries left, and I'll probably stick that on the side just to have a little bit of extra carbs with it. But I'm going to make use of these leftovers as well. And all of that is going to come together for a nice salad. For the dressing, I'm going to keep it simple. I'll probably just drizzle some olive oil, some lemon juice, and salt and pepper, and call it a day. So let's get going. All right, so I don't create more dishes. I'm actually going to use the container that my chickpeas are in to build my salad. That way I don't have to put them in a separate container, which means more dishes. Anytime I can avoid dishes, I prefer to. Even though I'm not the one who does the dishes in our house, it's my husband, but I do like to make sure I don't create more dishes for him than he needs to. All right, I'm going to add in my iceberg lettuce to this. There we go. And this iceberg lettuce is starting to wilt a little bit, so this will be a good use of using up all of it. And there we go. That filled up a lot of my container already. All right, and then next I am going to take a cucumber here. I'll wash this guy up and dice it up and throw that in next. All right, I'm going to slice up my cucumber, and I see this little end bit doesn't look too great, so I'm going to take out that part. And I do notice that these Persian cucumbers tend to go very quickly, whether I get them from Trader Joe's or I get the cocktail cucumbers from Costco. For some reason, they tend to go so quickly. So I don't know if we're just not eating it fast enough or what. And if it's kind of starting to go like this one, I just cut off the bit that looks bad. Until it gets to a point where the whole thing looks bad, then I will toss it. But yeah, I don't know why that is. If you have any ideas, let me know. But I'm just going to slice up these cucumbers for the day. Oops. And then get that added into my bowl. And I learned this trick. So I have this little cutting board, and they tend to slide around so much. And I saw some chef on Instagram post about putting a paper towel underneath to avoid it from slipping around, and it actually works. So if you have some slidey cutting boards like me, put a paper towel underneath. It really does work. All right, I got my cucumbers in there. Next, let's do the tomatoes. All right, so let's slice up the tomatoes next. And I decided to go with all three because I was thinking, you know what am I going to do with one little tomato left over? I might as well use all three. I'm going to be going shopping soon anyway, so I'll just get more for the family. But I'm just going to slice these up. And these are Campari. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Campari tomatoes. And I really like these. I used to get Roma tomatoes all the time, but I actually prefer these. They're juicier, they're sweeter. I get the little containers from Trader Joe's. Let me show you. This one is when I get it from Trader Joe's, I get this one. Or if I'm not shopping at Trader Joe's and I'm shopping at Costco, I actually prefer the tomatoes on the vine at Costco. They come in a little carton, a decent sized carton, maybe not little, carton, and they just taste so much better. And I find that when they stay on the vine, they stay well and don't spoil as quickly for longer. So these tomatoes have kind of softened up a little bit. I got these like a week ago, whereas the tomatoes on the vine will last kind of weeks for me when I get them from Costco once I stick them in the fridge. And you may have noticed I don't cut off like the end bits. These are just so tiny. It's not like a Roma tomato where I feel like I can just leave that end bit out in and it would still taste okay. So I'm just slicing them up small so that I can mix it all in. And this will really bulk up my salad since I'm putting a decent amount of tomatoes in there. All right, so that's the tomatoes. And next, I'm actually going to do the dressing first. I'm going to drizzle some olive oil and lemon juice first before I added my protein. I don't necessarily want to drizzle olive oil and lemon juice on my chicken tender. So let's do the dressing next. All right, let's work on the dressing. So I'm going to do some olive oil first, and I'm just going to drizzle that all over the top. And this, I know it says the extra virgin olive oil from Trader Joe's, but I actually just really like this container and I refill it with the big bottle of olive oil from Costco. But I do like the spout on these and I just reuse a bottle because why should I get a new bottle every time? All right, next I'm going to do some lemon juice on top. And I will say if you're making a dressing that's like a vinaigrette like this, it actually does taste better if you were to put it in a separate container like a mason jar. Shake it around and then add it on versus just drizzling it like this. I think it does kind of incorporate together better personally. I just don't want to do that right now. I don't really have the time to make a whole dressing, so I'm just going directly into my bowl. And then you can see I do like it quite lemony. I love that lemon flavor, so I'm going to add a decent amount of lemon juice. I don't have one of those fancy juicers that I see people use. I just use my hands. Okay. There is the lemon juice in there. All right, next I'm going to do salt and pepper. I'm just going to do my salt grinder on top. And I'm going to kind of leave it like this, and I'll mix it around when I get to work, when it's lunchtime, because I don't necessarily want that lettuce to wilt more with the dressing. The tomatoes and the cucumbers are kind of taking the bulk of the dressing right now, which is fine. They'll kind of last longer versus lettuce. Leafy greens tend to wilt longer and quicker over time. So I'm leaving that kind of on top. And then when it's going to be time for lunch, I'll mix everything together. All right, so I got the dressing in there. So next, let's cut up those chicken tenders. All right, here's that piece of chicken tender that's left over. When we went to Dave's Hot Chicken yesterday, I got the 2-piece. It was a chicken sandwich and a tender. And the tender was for my son. And the chicken sandwich was for me, and he only ate about half of his tender. They give you huge tenders. So I am just taking his leftovers. I prefer to try to give him fresh food as much as possible, and I'll take the leftovers, and I don't mind chicken tenders for leftovers. So this is kind of like a crispy chicken salad for me. And I love using my scissors for things like this, so I don't have to pull out another cutting board just to cut up chicken. And the scissors work really, really well to get it to the bite-sized pieces that I am looking for, which does help when you're eating a salad, and it'll all incorporate better. Now, this is a decent-sized chicken tender, but I do want to go a little bit higher in protein for my lunch. So I'm going to pair this up. I'll probably put a protein bar in there to kind of maybe get started with at lunchtime, depending on how hungry I'm feeling after I'm done with this. And then I can finish that off for my afternoon snack. All right, there we go. Look at that. It all came together. And that's it. My salad is ready to go. Alrighty, I'm going to close up the lid on this guy and put it in my lunch bag. And this is the lunch bag I use, which is like 10 years old. We had gotten these from Costco years and years and years ago, and they still work really well. So I got my salad in there. And like I mentioned, I'm going to pack a protein bar. These are the protein bars I like to eat, the pure protein ones. And this is the chewy chocolate chip one. So I'll pack that on the side. I always like to pack a sparkling water. I like sipping on something while I'm working and I'm trying to hydrate better. So I do drink one of these a day, whether it's the Kirkland brand or LaCroix. Those are typically the two that I like to get, depending on what I can find a better deal on. And then I'm going to pack a little green tea bag. I've been drinking green tea more often. I'm currently trying to lose weight, and I'm finding that drinking green tea helps to help me avoid kind of craving sugary beverages. It gives me something else to drink besides water and sparkling water. So I'm going to pack this as another alternative for hydration for today. And there we go. Lunch is ready for the day. It doesn't have to be a really special salad to make something like this. You can just use up, like you saw, whatever ingredients you have at home. Some sort of a leafy green with tomatoes and cucumbers already goes really well. You can, of course, take this above and beyond. Like I have a red onion in my pantry right now, but that's going to take way more time for me to chop that up. So that's something I skip. But things that are kind of like easy to chop up that you can throw in together and then just add some sort of a protein in there and you're good to go. You got a nice balanced salad. And the dressing does not have to be difficult. You know, olive oil and lemon juice and salt and pepper works great. Of course, you can use a bottled dressing as well too. A light drizzle of that would work just as fine, but packing lunch and making a salad for lunch shouldn't be too difficult, and hopefully this gave you an idea on how to do that. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have not already done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos that help show you how to make healthy eating and healthy living simple. Thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.